So as you may know, I'm currently making a game. It's called Boxy Trial. I've been working on it for a while now, and I'm very proud of it. However, there are some problems I have with it. Today, I'll be analyzing the project file and the few problems I do have with it. So let's start with player movement. Essentially, it only really uses one script. There are two problems I have with it. When you push into a wall, the cube just sort of hovers there for some reason. And the only reason wall jumping works is because of how it's programmed. So essentially, to be able to jump, the script checks if you've touched ground. See the problem with that sentence? The touched part of it. What did I mean by that? Essentially, it checks on every collision, not on every frame. So you can do some pretty wonky things with that. Exhibit A, wall jumping. How does this work? Essentially, you've touched the wall, so when you slightly drop of it, you can jump, and that's basically how wall jumping works. Exhibit B, ceiling jumping. Yes, this is possible. It's something I need to fix for sure. Next up, we're talking about health and coins. So each of these require two scripts. In a nutshell, one script is for the player's ability to collect the coins and to keep track of how many you've collected. The other script is just for the coin itself. It basically gives it its value or its amount, and it also checks if the coin's been collected, which comes in handy for when working on checkpoints, but I'll get to that later. There are 99 coins in every level, excluding the tutorial, which has 10 of them. Hey, speaking of levels, let's talk about the levels. So something I've been asked a lot about is if I'll be adding a level editor to the game. Which to I say, in the current state of the game, absolutely not. Level editors like geometry dashes have the objects already made in tiles or blocks. Now, how did I make Boxy Trial, you might not ask? Well, I use white rectangles, change their color, size, and position, and call it a day. This is a rectangle, this is a rectangle, this is the coins, the barrier, the text on the coins, the boat. I'll sometimes add in some sprites for decoration, like the little grass thingies, rocks, spikes, bushes, trees. But essentially, most of it is just white rectangles recolored, resized, and repositioned with scripts every now and then. Hey, speaking of sprites, you know what thing has a sprite of its own? That's right, checkpoints. Let's talk about checkpoints. Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. This is literally the thing that I've spent the most time getting right. If you go on the beta 2 build of Boxy Trial, you'll notice that the coins work more in a way you'd expect /game will keep inventory would work. And essentially they just teleport you to them every time you die, without really doing anything to the coins. Well, happily I have now fixed that. Thank God. So essentially how it works is, the game keeps track of every coin you've collected. Every time you collect a coin, it becomes invisible and not interactable. Its tag changes to collected coins. If you die without getting to a checkpoint, the coin becomes interactable again, and you can collect it again. The game will also keep track of how many coins you've collected since the last time you hit a checkpoint, which I'll refer to as CCSLC. So when you die, your coin value decreases by the CCSLC amount. When you get to a checkpoint, it checks for every object with the collected coins tag, and murders it. Just kidding, it takes it out of bounds, because deactivating it, or god forbid, deleting it, breaks the entire game. It resets the CCSL counter, and you don't have to worry about losing coins anymore. So what are the plans I have for the game? Well, first of all, I need to change how the player movement script works, because that's a total mess. Second of all, I want people to be able to access the options menu from the pause menu, because having to exit out of a level and losing your progress isn't worth it for just changing the volume or the resolution a bit. So if you have any ideas for how I could make this game better, if you have some idea for a feature or a way I can fix one of these problems, make sure to tell me in the comments below or on my Discord server. If you like this video, comment, like, or subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.